Ho, ho, ho.
Hey there.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there's a little Grogu.
Little Grogu popped in to say hello for our special. Hi,
I love
Crystal.
Hi.
Crystal's here. I got everybody. It's just fantastic. It's oh my goodness. Thank you.
We are
Gather
very
around the
excited to have
campfire.
you back. This has kind of become like an annual thing. And so
Yeah.
when we asked if you would come on the holiday special, of course you said yes.
Of course I did. I look forward to this every year.
Yeah, we do
Us
too.
too. Us too.
Yeah, it's a good time to just, for anyone, whether you're in education or not, I think it's just as we get closer to the new year, it's just nice to just start kind of maybe taking a breath or two, sharing some
Yeah.
nice moments with family and friends, and being thankful for hopefully some good things that happen in the year. Speaking of, we've been asking everyone as they've come back, what's new? What's going on with you?
There you go.
Wow, I don't even remember the last time I was on. So probably lots and lots is new. I actually put a pause on my personal business this year because so much crazy new things were happening in my personal life. But overall, I would say what's new is pretty much just the same as everyone. I'm trying to figure it out. We're getting back into whatever life looks like now that we've had a few years of staying at home and being at home. And now everybody's back to living life and going places and doing things. So just sort of trying to figure out what that looks like and getting out and visiting people that I loved and missed and traveling to places that I haven't been able to go and all those fun things.
Good.
Yeah, that is good. I mean, and just to take a pause on anything, I think in life, when you feel like that's the right thing to do, then that's the right thing to do. So I'm happy to hear that. And, we've continued to stay in touch with you. And so to have you on here is a lot of fun. And Fred and Pete, how are you all doing? Is school done for you? Are you on break? Because it's kind of weird. Some people are still teaching and working this week, and some people are off. I'm off.
Fred?
So yeah, we wrapped up the term. Now we're in that mode of we're already getting ready for the next term and meetings, but primarily it's kind of goes into that weird lull. A lot of meetings though. As I was talking before we got on live, great tour of a local facility that's getting involved in space exploration in the Pennsylvania Northeast, which was cool. But at the same time, I'm ready to take a little bit of a break and then kind of focus on get ready for family to come in from out of town and just enjoy the holiday. My daughter has been baking like crazy, so that's her thing. And then it's good. It's all good. We're enjoying it.
Home.
Everybody. So yeah, Jake's here. Everyone's home. Jillian's here. Jordan's. We're counting down the weeks for that event.
Okay.
We won't go into those details yet. But yeah, everyone's good. And you know what? It's cold, but it's not freezing. We have snow on the ground, which is
Nice.
just enough to make it feel like Christmas. So hopefully that'll last through the holiday. And so everybody be traveling. But I'm looking forward to the holidays. Yeah. How about you, Pete? What do you
All
got?
done, and done. From the end of November to now is a rough. All the teachers out there, theater teachers, chorus directors, music directors, everybody that puts on the music and they're holding the reins for these big events that everybody goes to. It's a grind. So to all my fellow teachers of those subjects and all, and everybody in those driver's seats, sending you much love, and I hope you can rest. But yes, done.
So is the person saying hi ready to roll with this holiday or what?
Yeah, he's ready to. He's doing awesome. He had a surprise gift from relatives in New York City arrive today, and they sent him a very, very cool guitar. That has been passed down.
Fancy.
And he is over the moon about it. So yeah. But it's
very cool.
It's been a busy time of year. Wonderful time of year. Not annoyed by any of it, but nonetheless, we're getting older. It's a grind.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
But some really amazing, musical things that I've had an opportunity to go see over the last couple weeks with the schools at all kinds of levels. And Pete, you posted some of your stuff, and it made me so happy to see you orchestrating that, and the smiles on the kids' faces, and some new pieces that I actually wasn't familiar with that I thought was wonderful. How do you pick what you're going to do with the kiddos for?
I do it in August.
Smart.
I
Wow.
do it in August, so it's the weirdest thing. I'll be sitting at a coffee shop in August listening to stuff and say, "All right, it's a Venn diagram. What you think the kids will like, the audience will like, and what you're going to be okay teaching, and then you pick stuff that meets in the middle." And that's how we program. And yeah, it takes some time. And it's kind of a shot in the dark sometimes because you never know what the group's going to be like. You never know the vibe, what's going on in the
Sure.
year. But yeah, okay, we'll bring back this favorite one. And then, oh my gosh, let's try this popular song that everybody else is doing. And then, oh, look at this new thing. Or I'm going to blow the dust off this old thing. And, we just put it all together. Um,
So Pete, what about when there's variations of a song? So say, for example, you hear a song, you pick a song, right? Say it's
Yeah.
I don't know, like Let It Snow.
yeah.
And then what do you do, like, as far as the arrangement goes? Like, what's the next step in that selection? Is it something
Yeah,
that just catches your attention,
you
or is it
buy
something
it. So there's websites, there's companies that, they're licensing and publishing companies. So you could listen to it on their site and figure out what you like, what arrangement and all. Oh, look at that. There's Mr. Mangello. Hi,
Ho ho
Lou.
ho! Merry Christmas,
Hello,
Lou.
Santa Mangello.
Merry Christmas, Lou.
Yeah.
Thanks for popping
Miss you,
in.
miss you. Yeah. So you play those songs a couple thousand times and you figure out, and then you buy it, you figure out or if you feel super ambitious, you could arrange it yourself and things like that. I do that sometimes, and it all depends. It all depends,
Amazing.
Fred. But it's expensive.
Oh,
That's
Buying
what I was
music.
going to ask you. So, are all the Christmas songs or holiday songs?
Some
Do
are
you?
public domain, right?
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
And
Right.
then a lot are not. And
Okay.
so it's complicated. But if you're buying somebody else's arrangement and all that stuff, and you got to make sure what you buy is appropriate for your kids, your community. It's a lot of
Sure.
stuff. There's a lot of deciding that goes into it. The voicing. So I'll look at the range and I'll say, all right, this is too high, too crazy low for my kids. This is more for a high school group or something like that. There's a lot of thought that goes into all that.
That's great.
Or I just, pick it out of a hat and throw it to the wall and see what sticks, like I did this year. So,
I
but you know
don't
what though,
believe it.
and I won't. I know you want to get moving on here, Aaron. Some of my most favorite memories are when I was in the concert band in middle school, and like you said you started practicing in August. I think what did we start practicing in, like, maybe September, probably, right? And then piece by piece, you add the pieces in, the whole thing starts to come together for the December show. And to this day, like, some of my fondest memories are with some friends who we were practicing those pieces. And so now when I if I was on maybe second or third chair,
yeah,
you hear a whole different arrangement. You're not
yeah,
playing the first chair theme or melody. And so, like, when I hear songs to this day, like, I listen for the whole backtrack of it all.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
fun. It's some great memories.
Making memories.
Yep.
Making
Yeah,
memories.
it's awesome, Pete. Thank you to you, and again, like you said, to all the musical teachers out there, performing arts teachers, because you're right. It is a lot leading up to here, and we just get to go and enjoy it. So, think about
They'll
the
hear this
work.
a few days from now. They're all sleeping. They're all in a coma.
Hopefully, yeah, we kind of poked the bear and we woke you up and said, "Come to come to our Christmas party." But that's okay. I'm smiling ear to ear because we said at the very beginning, this time of year is about starting to take a couple of deep breaths and relax. And we're excited to have Crystal here. We've got some other people visiting us. We've got Lou, we've got Johnny, we've got Hal.
Hal, yeah,
Timothy.
Hal popping in.
Like,
Casey.
this is just making me so happy that we're just sitting here, getting ready to just be excited about the plans that we've made with our family and stuff, but take some time to celebrate with each other.
Agree.
Is really, really cool. And we're doing something different this year. And I feel like let's do that. And then we can get into maybe just some fun, goofy games or trivia questions. But so Crystal is our little elf, and she's kind of helped us with this gift exchange. Do you want to, Crystal, explain what we're doing this year, since it's a little different?
It is a little different. And when you told me about this idea, I was very excited. So I look forward to your email every year that says, hey, do you want to be our elf again? Because it gives me an excuse to get super fun and creative with the email that I end up sending. And some years it's better than others, but I still have fun with it. And I love this whole process. But this year, when you reached out to me, you said you wanted to do something a little different. Instead of exchanging actual gifts, you wanted to give a gift of words. And I thought that was magical because, as most of you know, I love words. I love books. I love reading. I love writing. You guys do too. This just seemed so amazing to me. And we got chatting a little bit about it. And I thought one of the most magical things about doing this was it is a great example to people, especially now, because I feel like in the last couple of years, we've sort of gotten away from reminding people that we appreciate them and taking the 2 seconds here or there to say, that's an amazing thing you did for me. Thank you. Or I saw something you did for someone else and you're an amazing human because of it. Those little moments make a huge, huge difference to everybody, especially at this time of year when you're already stressed out. You've got 9 million things on the go. You're a baker and you've got 15 cookies that you have to bake before 9 p.m. or whatever it happens to be, right? So we're all carrying a lot of this stress, and a simple smile and a couple words of gratitude can go such a long way. So when you said, let's do a gift of words, let's exchange with each other some words about each other, some inspiration, some thoughts, some memories, I thought this was just the most magical thing in the whole wide world, because a lot of people can't necessarily afford to go to Amazon and spend $20 or $50 or $100, but everyone is capable of reminding someone in their life how amazing they are. And it can be simple or it can be complicated. It's completely up to you. It's hilarious because I was going to write out everything you guys sent me in little cue cards, and I started writing, and then I looked at what one of you sent and I thought, there's no way I want to write all that. So I'm going to print them all on a piece of paper and read it from a piece of paper because I'm going to cheat. So I'm not allowed to tell you, Santa has told me, who says what. You guys have to guess. But I will tell you who it's meant for, and hopefully you will be able to guess. And if you can't guess, that's okay too. That's part of the fun. So this one is for Fred. Fred is not just a podcasting and live video extraordinaire, but a true Jedi in the world of education and entrepreneurship. His passion for Star Wars is only matched by his dedication to teaching coding, weaving his love for technology with the Force, which I have to tell you, as I was totally reading this one, I was just like, this is the most amazing thing. This is so perfect. It has a little winky face, which obviously I can't I guess I could perform it for you, but I'm not going to. It has a little winky face, and then it goes on. With a heart firmly rooted in faith and family, Fred's infectious sense of humor, coupled with his humility to laugh at himself, makes him a beacon of inspiration. Despite the galaxy of ideas swirling in his mind, Fred's commitment is unwavering, showcasing a remarkable blend of creativity and responsibility. Thank you, Fred, for being a force to be reckoned with in both the podcasting realm and the journey of empowering others through education. Wow. So, who do you think wrote that, Fred?
First of all, I'm kind of choked up, but it's tough because, first of all, Aaron's doing the Grogu float, and then Pete is also he's in tune with my Star Wars askness. I gotta say it's Aaron though, only because of Grogu. Am I right?
You are absolutely right. It was Aaron. And one of the things that we decided to do was to share one single word that we wished for the person for the upcoming year. And so the one word Aaron wants to represent you or to share with you is centered.
Oh, very, very powerful. I like it.
Yeah. Do you want to know why?
How do you see that happening, Aaron? Like, what would you see centering?
I think you can do it. I think, without going into a bunch of details, I just know over the last couple of years, some things that you've been going through and dealing with. At the same time, some really exciting things you've been doing, and you're always, got your pulse on some really cool things for the coding community and for the people that you help with that and at your church, and that you hear and at school. And I was like, it'd be really cool. You're doing all these amazing things, and I'd love for it to kind of come to a center for you so that you can truly continue to enjoy it.
Nice.
And see where it goes to the next thing. I just think it's your time. I think it's your time, Fred. Like,
I get it. I love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you said in that. And that was fun. And I love the fact too. It's funny what you said in there about laughing at yourself, because sometimes when you laugh at yourself, you could easily look like the fool. But it reminds me of oh shoot, I'm going to forget it. It's a podcast that I share. It's a TED Talk. He's an actor. Oh my gosh. But he sings a song at the end of his talk where he says to play the fool. And it's all about creativity. It's all about unlocking your creativity and stuff like that. And whether you're in teaching or coding or thinking or doing anything like that. So Ethan Hawke. It's an Ethan Hawke podcast. Yes. Yeah, he says to play the fool, and it's a really, if you've not seen it, Google it out there. It's a wonderful TED Talk. It's really professionally done. But that's I appreciate you saying that. That actually comes at a good time. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. You're always, I think, full of joy in life. Doesn't mean that you're always happy or that life is always easy for you. But, whenever we're together, especially in this space, a lot of times I just appreciate, that you are like that. And it's more of you're just a jolly guy. Like you and Phantom.
Oh, got the hat too.
Wasn't there a Fred Claus movie? Wait a minute.
Yes,
there was.
Yes. That's a Googler. That's another one we got to queue up. Well, that's something we're going to come back to after all this. We got to ask a question about movies, but okay. Let's go on. Crystal, thank you for reading that so well too. It was nice.
Amazing.
That means a lot to me.
It is beautifully written. They're all beautifully written. When I read them all, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And this is one of the reasons why I loved this idea, because it can mean so much to someone who is feeling overwhelmed, stressed, that they're treading water, right? And we don't necessarily know when other people feel that way. We all put on a little bit of a front sometimes, right? And we show up the best that we can, and we try to make it so that we have it all together. But sometimes we don't always feel that way. And having some kind words from someone else to say, you are doing a great job, and I see what you're doing, and I appreciate that. And you're an amazing human, and keep it up. And, I'm here for you. Those are all great things to tell each other.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree. Okay.
Back to business. The next one is for Erin. Erin is warm-hearted, open-minded, approachable, intelligent, insightful, caring, supportive, brave, communicative, and level-headed. She is the world's greatest juggler, figuratively, right? Well, I suppose you could be that too, but that's not what this says. She is the world's greatest juggler, figuratively, an amazing organizer and host, and a natural leader. She is a teacher's teacher, an amazing friend, and a true inspiration to me. A favorite memory of mine with Erin, one of many, was after a conference in Orlando. We decided to meet at Disney Springs, and we chatted for hours. Even though I've known Erin for years, I'm thankful that I got to know Erin even better that night.
Aw.
I feel like this might be difficult for Erin, because I also feel like every time someone meets with her from that conference in Orlando, it's at Disney Springs. So
right, exactly
anyone,
right.
That's where you can find me. That's for sure. So I think it's Pete.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think it's Pete.
Yes.
Thank you so much, my friend, for the kind words. It means a lot. It means a lot.
Pete's one word
spot
for
on,
you
actually.
for the new year.
Spot on, Pete.
Right? I thought so too. His one word for you for the new year is graduating.
Ooh.
Yes. I thought about that. So I was keeping with the whole teacher pep rally theme. And I was just thinking, and this really is for everybody here right now. We're all getting to a point where we're ready for the next level, the next step. And, gosh, I'm just so proud of you with what you've done with your conferences, and just so many. Every time we talk, I'm like, wait, you did what? What's going on? Oh, you did this, and you got this degree, and this was published, and this, and you're presenting here, and it's like, holy crap, it's so inspiring. But I just think all this work is going to pay off in such a big way. And I look at that as graduating. We're all going to the next level. So that's kind of what I thought of.
Thank you, Pete. Yeah, I think you're right. We really are all in a space where I think the next level is coming, and all the hard work is gonna pay off. And yeah, it's funny, like Crystal had said, for some reason right now during this break, I kind of needed to hear some of that from my friends. So even though I didn't ask to hear for it, I'm appreciative of it. And you have no idea how helpful that is. So thank you.
Yeah,
agreed.
It's good
too.
It's so true, though. The leadership
part is important things, right? We don't necessarily always ask but we need those things, even if we don't recognize that we need those things, right? And so taking the few minutes to, write down in an email, a text message, a phone call, whatever it happens to be, you did a great job. You baked great cookies tonight, whatever
Right.
it happens to be, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a ticker for Erin's website, and Pete, I got to put yours up there. If anybody's curious to see what else is coming in this great year for Erin ahead, which we know is going to be a lot of cool stuff, check out her website there. So it's inspirededucation.info.
Thanks, Fred.
Correct. I at first I wasn't sure if you said gradual or graduate. I heard because my ear was going buzzy. But that's wow. Interesting.
Such good words. It's interesting because, just as a side note, I typically do a poster board every year at this time of year between Christmas and New Year's with one word that I pick for the new year, because I don't do New Year's resolutions, but I pick a word that's going to be sort of my guiding force for the year. And this year I'm not doing a board, but I'm still picking a word, and I haven't picked the word yet. This is the first year that I've waited this long and haven't picked the word. So as you guys were sending all of this, I was like, ooh, that's a great word. Ooh, that's a great word. Ooh, that's a great word. So I have this like wall in my head of all these words to choose from over the next week or so now.
And knowing you for a while now, and knowing you're at the resting stage in a way, I can only imagine how
What's
there's
coming.
days where you're like going, I just got to get moving again. I got to do it. You know what I mean? I can only imagine. And it is. I think we all go through that, right? Because we have to dual track. We're all side hustling and we're all doing all these things. But I can only imagine, Chris, like it's probably like pent up. Boom, it's gonna go.
Pent
You know
up
what I
boom.
mean?
It absolutely is. I don't know exactly when, and I don't know what it's going to look like yet. But I'm trying to be open to whatever the possibilities are, and just trying to sort of follow what feels right in the moment, and we'll see sort of where I end up for 2024.
And give a shout out there to John. John, thanks. And congratulations. John also completed his master's degree
Oh,
too. So
bravo.
congratulations to John.
Bravo.
That's amazing.
Excellent.
That's nice. And we got what Hal's chiming in there. As long as procrastination isn't the word.
Sometimes it is, Hal.
I
Sometimes
was
it
going to
is.
say, for some people, they might need that
They
word
need a
for the new
breather.
year.
Yes. Well, I think.
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So the next one is for Pete,
Mm.
and this one is a little bit longer, so bear with me.
I've been naughty.
Naughty.
The idea of expressing my sentiments through written words as a gift is truly inspiring. My gift is for Pete, whom I first met at the Momentum Workshop weekend years ago. For those unfamiliar, Momentum is an innovative workshop aimed at providing entrepreneurship insights to budding business owners. Our last day there was an intense and memorable, where Pete's passion for his venture, PSBC. Pete, do you say the C or do you just say creative? Because it's capitalized, so I want to make sure I do it right.
It's fine. PSB Creative. Yeah, it's fine.
Perfect. I didn't want to mess it up,
No,
but I
go
already
ahead.
messed it up. So PSB Creative was unmistakably evident. His innate ability to make everyone feel included as part of what makes him such an exceptional educator. Pete's genuine interest in others is evident in every conversation, whether it's about business, education, or music. He always makes it a point to ask, "How are you doing?" which he absolutely does regardless of circumstance, because even the email that he sent me this week said, "How are you?" which I just adore, and listens attentively to your response. One memorable weekend at Momentum Workshop, we strolled through Disney Springs. Clearly, if people are not familiar with this podcast, at this point, they should all know we just live at Disney most of the time, and that's okay. We strolled through Disney Springs, sharing stories about our families and our lives. There is a couple words in here, but I'm not going to say what they are because then you're going to know who wrote it. These discussions reminded us of the universal challenges and joys of parenting. They simply reminded you that you are not the only one going through that challenge. On one occasion, after attending the Momentum Workshop, Pete even offered me a ride to the airport early in the morning, a gesture that I initially thought was too much to ask, but he did so without hesitation, which, for those of you watching who do not know Pete, is very much a Pete thing to do. 100%, he would give you the shirt off his back if he could.
Yes, he would.
Pete's reputation as a teacher is well known. In the classroom, his approach is both creative and invigorating. A story that stands out to me is how he once used a glow-in-the-dark musical notes in the classroom walls, visible only under blue light, allowing students to collaboratively compose music. Students moved about the classroom with lights in their hand, finding the notes. Pete, this is amazing. How did I not know this story? His dedication also extends beyond the classroom, evident in his commitment to caroling with students around town during Christmas time, boarding a school bus loaded with kids that they go out in the evening and spread holiday cheer. Moreover, Pete is expanding his talents through PSB Creative Arts and Education, a nonprofit initiative that brings theatrical experiences to schools, fostering young people's passion for the arts. This venture will undoubtedly unlock a young person's love of the arts. I am blessed to have Pete as a friend who always brings laughter and offers insightful perspectives. Without him, the Teachers Pep Rally would not be the same.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Oh, and there's my kid.
There you go. And then there's chiming in. That I popped it up there too soon. I'm
Make
sorry
Pete
about
tear
that.
up. So everybody knows I'm the emotional one. I tear up easily. But thank you, Fred. That was beautiful. Means a lot.
Oh man, I love you,
Thank
brother.
you.
It's like you've been a good friend all these years, and it's been a fun ride. And
Good memories.
Yeah, they are great memories. You know, we've laughed and we scratched our heads and go, what the hell's going on?
Yep. Thanks, guys. Great idea,
So-
Aaron.
It's a fabulous idea. And Pete, your word for the year is growth.
Thank you. Yes.
Yep. This is
I
it.
agree.
Finally, man. The piece finally fell into place.
I agree.
Which
agree.
I think is absolutely amazing, and we need to take a minute to celebrate
Oh,
because
thank you.
Pete,
Yes.
when I first met you at Momentum Retreat, you
Oh yeah.
instantly had me in tears because you showed, in the best way possible, because you showed me a video of you teaching and allowing the performance of these students who every single student got to play a role, regardless of who they were, regardless of what circumstance they were in. You included every single child, which blew my mind because at that point I had never heard of a teacher going to such lengths to make sure that everyone got to participate in a meaningful way on stage if they wanted to. And I think what you have done with PSB Creative this year is huge and deserves all the celebration in the whole wide world. Everybody needs to be screaming about it.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We've
Agreed.
been, when I had a free moment here and there, I get done with school and then I wait around to pick up my son at his school. And when I had a few moments in the last couple of days, I started driving around looking at buildings. Where are we going to have our first place? And that's a really cool, exciting feeling. It's scary. But I will, when we open up, I will invite everybody there and it'll be a gigantic celebration. So, but you guys are a part of it.
Oh,
It's awesome.
It's
So awesome.
and you know the thing too, like it's for everybody that's listening and watching. Some things look incredibly easy. Some people make things look incredibly easy, right? And the reality is, it's a very tough grind, and it takes a lot of persistence. And there are a lot of challenges, and it is like we always talk about. It's like a roller coaster. You have great days. So for the teachers that we have in our community here, for those who are working, we all go through those ups and downs. But when you're trying to just start off a venture, and Pete's been working hard at creating, well, he has his main venture now with the nonprofit avenue. That's a lot of work, and I don't think people truly understand. Like filing papers, it sounds easy. But it's when it's government oriented stuff and tax oriented stuff and all that craziness. It's tough.
Yeah.
And I had a great conversation with a small business owner last evening. And for how much, not to get too political right now, but like for how much our country always says in the United States, we always say the backbone of this country is small business. It doesn't do a really great job still of advocating or allowing small businesses to have advocates, to understand how to make certain things work. It's a lot. You have to figure it out on your own. I don't know if it's the same way for large corporations that are staffed up, but I don't think it is. But everybody that's on these paths, I wish you all the best. But Pete,
Yeah.
you know, we love you, man. It's going to be
Oh,
a
love
great
you guys.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited. Very excited.
Thank you.
Yep. Nice. Thank
Crystal,
you, Crystal.
Crystal, we
Crystal,
love
that was
you.
awesome.
Yes.
You
So
are.
maybe a few words just for our little elf here, because Crystal, I'll go first. When we first met, like, I just feel like instantly there was a connection. There was just, such a cool, easy vibe being around you. You're just so pleasant. You're very similar to Pete, where you'll just like, we could ask you for anything and you would just do it. It's just, I think part of both of your DNA, maybe related. Anyway,
feel it.
so, Crystal, whenever we may not talk all the time, but then when we finally connect, we're like, hey, do you want to get on a call real quick?
Yep.
It's like, I feel like I talk your ear off, because
Yep.
it's just so, it's like family. All of a sudden we're getting to catch up, and then we wish each other well, and we look forward to the next time. So just super thankful to have you as a friend, my Canadian friend.
Yep.
And it's just a huge blessing. So thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Right
And-
back at you.
She's an anchor for us. She life get crazy, and it's like, oh, let's touch base with Crystal, and it's like, oh my gosh. And I just hope it's
Yeah.
a two-way street for us to you as well, because you mean a lot to us. And you have people out there who, oh, happiness and this and that and self-care and self-help and this and that, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of insincere. They're not the most genuine, and it's kind of fluff. I think you walk the walk, you talk the talk. You're the most genuine person I know when, doing this type of work and helping others. So much love.
Aw.
Right on. Yep. Righto.
Yeah, Crystal, like you all said it really well. You're like you become a constant source for us, and so such a well-spoken resource too. Like you're knowledgeable, you're so incredibly empathetic and like helpful. You've helped a lot of our guests. You've been a great conversation partner in our shows, and it's been fun to continue to have you come on board. Especially like this isn't easy either, right? I mean, but you make it look way too easy. So it's super fun to have you all the time and insightful. So thank you. Oh, as always, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to say that you help wrangle us in, but I think you might be an instigator. So
I might be just a little bit of one, but I think that's okay, especially for the Christmas episode. I think
Before we start recording, just a little bit.
Yeah. Yes.
I love you guys and I appreciate you, and I thank you so much. One of the things that concerned me personally about tonight was I loved this idea of words so much, but I'm dyslexic. So reading for me out loud is very difficult and stressful. And so after I said yes, because how would I say no, I had a moment and I had to take a few deep breaths, and I had to just remind myself that it's okay. I'm probably going to mess up a few words, which I did, but that's okay, right? I also think that's one of the things that makes us human, and it's okay because it has not changed my love for any of you. It has not changed your love for me. It just has bonded us in this moment of giggling and love and all of the things. So I love you all.
Well done.
Oh, thanks for
Absolutely.
sharing that, Crystal. You did great. I mean, you did phenomenal. We all
Yeah.
club words. I mean, it's like, but that was perfect. Thank you.
we'll have to bring you back, because I'd love to do, because I'm dyslexic as well. Very, very much so.
Wait,
A lot of people
well,
don't
how do we
realize.
not know that?
Yeah. So
Did you share that before? I don't
I
think.
don't know, maybe a few times, but yeah. So we should talk about that, because I totally get that, Crystal. And I've had to do a couple of big presentations in front of some people at work, and I've got my fail safe. I have certain markings that I do when I write things out to help me with certain words, or to make sure I pause or whatever. So it'd be really cool. We should do a little episode
Yeah,
of that.
we
And
should.
talk about it.
Absolutely should. And I think that's a great reminder for everyone, right? We're all human and we
Right.
never know exactly what everybody else is dealing with. We get, these little snippets of people's lives. Even when,
Right.
we know them really well, we're not there 24/7 and we don't know everything that's going
Yep.
on. And we're all human and we all have moments and stress and all the other things. So, a little more love to everyone is always a good
Yeah.
thing.
And you guys know I'm a stutterer, so it's always a workout for me. And so
Yep.
Fred, what's wrong with you?
I'm short. I'm really short,
Oh,
and my hair is falling out too. So-
see,
I
but
will
see?
say, as a side note, Fred, I will say I thought of you about a month ago because I went to Jollywood Nights
oh,
and they had Rise of the Resistance open for Jollywood Nights. And so as I was walking into Rise of the Resistance, I was like, Fred must love this. This must be amazing. Fred must just be in heaven. And then they opened the door and we walked into the room that is supposed to be empty, right?
right.
I don't want to say too much for people who haven't been yet, but like there was 500 people in that room because the ride had broken down.
Oh,
Oh.
And so I had a moment of, well, Fred must not like this part when it happens.
no, it wouldn't.
So in the
Really?
big hangar?
Hmm.
Wow. That must have been
Oh.
kind of cool that's the place everybody wants to spend more time in. So
It
that's
was
kind of cool.
very
Yeah, right,
interesting.
right.
We all stood around and took pictures. Obviously, there was other people in our pictures and all of the things.
Sure.
But they made an announcement that they were trying to fix it. And within 3 minutes, they said, you know what? We don't know how long it's going to take. If you want off, we will walk you through the back entrance and give you passes to come back.
Wow.
So
Wow. You know, that's the thing about, so it's very high tech, that ride, the things that they've been able to do, and some of the stuff that I've seen on videos at the early stage. I don't know about you all, but when I've ridden that attraction, it's some of the things now that they're not doing it, and I assume that it's just because maybe it's technology, it's just too hard to kind of, it's glitchy.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
have you seen some of the things that they have at the parks overseas, and some of those? It's just mind blowing, the stuff that they're able to do, or even
Yeah.
the Spider-Man that they
Yeah.
have flying through the air over in
California.
Disneyland. But
Right.
it's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, like even the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Yep.
Is it
That's
Tokyo
a Shanghai.
Seas?
I think it's
Or
Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just looks amazing. I mean, and of course I haven't experienced it personally. You can watch it on video, and of course the video doesn't always do it justice either. But there's some amazing things. It just goes to show you, like, it all goes back to creativity, and how could you just, how could you take that in the classroom? That's the thing we always struggle with, right? How do we take that stuff and bring it into the classroom in some cool kind of way? And just to go and experience it. Not as you're just saying that, Crystal, that just reminds you, I got to get back down there again. I got to go. I love that. That is a great.
Apparently, we need to do a live show at Disney Springs.
I think we should. Right. We need to do a walkabout.
sold.
That would be great.
That would be amazing. But yeah,
If
Fred,
we-
it does make me think a little bit about not just the creativity part, but what you were just saying, Crystal. So what'd you all do when you were stuck in that room? You took the moment to be walking around, taking pictures, that opportunity that other people don't have, seeing certain angles and certain parts of the art, and as teachers, that's what you have to do, right? In education,
Yeah.
or if you're leading professional development or whatever, we're humans, and things are going to go wrong. Technology is not always going to be working the way that we thought it would. I mean, this is an example too in this space. Sometimes, we laugh, Fred, before we started, you decorated our space nicely, but there was
Let's put it up. Let everybody see it. So this was our graphic for tonight.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I think
Thanks,
that
Pete.
looks good. Right. You can't see
If
Fred.
only- if I didn't- I was thinking that our heads were going to be smaller. Wait, no, that's not it.
No,
That's
that
not
was
it
bigger.
either. I don't. I guess we can create a layout, but then we went with the snowy village.
Love it.
But then Crystal and Pete
Looks
get
like
it's like you got a dance.
Okay, Santa's just running by me.
Right. So we have some adjustments to make. So it's all
That's
good.
all right.
But I think that's also one of the great things, right? Like sometimes things happen and you have a choice. Do you giggle about it? Do you laugh and find a way to either move on or fix it or find something else? Or do you get upset about it, right? Like we had no control when we were in that room with 500 people about what was happening. There was no way for us to do anything about it. We could have been upset. I chose not to be. I chose to wander around, take some pictures. We checked some things out that other people who had been on the ride had never seen, because you typically walk right through, right? So, it's a great lesson for life. Sometimes we need to take ourselves just a little less seriously and breathe and do what we can. And that's the best we can do, especially when it comes to technology, because not all of us are Fred. And 9 times out of
Yeah.
10, I'm like, I
Pretty
have
much.
no idea how to fix this. Fred, help me.
Right.
Yeah, there's so much mystery meat with a lot of that stuff. But I got to ask you, Crystal, so like, how close did you get to the stormtroopers?
So we walked right up to the front of the railing, like
That
where the
railing.
railing is. They let
Wow.
us all hang out at the railing, take pictures, do all of that. They weren't letting people reach past the railing, obviously. But yeah, we were all able to walk right up to the railing.
Oh,
So you
cool.
were there long enough. Do some of their heads move, or is that just an illusion?
At
So
some point,
nothing, I was going to say, nothing was moving that night, but I wonder if that's part of what was wrong with the ride, because one of the girls I was with had ridden it before and she thought they did move.
no, they had them at some point.
So I think maybe that's just part of whatever was wrong, because it would have been very cool to have them moving while we were taking pictures and
Yep.
stuff.
No.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
definitely a discussion that needs to happen over there about upkeep, and keeping the level of quality and things, and making sure the creatives and then the operations, they get the money they need to keep that standard of excellence going for every single person. And
Yeah.
lately I'm hearing it's not there. It's kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Um,
So Hal was just saying we just Google faster. That's partly true. You just got to know what you ask. You have to know how to ask it quickly.
Yeah. And then Tacey says it's like the Yeti. Yeah. On
ah,
Everest
Yeah.
the roller
Yeah.
coaster.
me going on that.
Wait, Michael said Gulliver's Travel.
Yes, so I love that Michael said this because I was trying to figure out how to bring in his comment. Bring the Santa below again underneath Pete and Crystal, because it's exactly what I was going to say. And then I did it. And when I saw Michael say in the comments, I was like, yes, Michael. Gulliver's Travel.
The tiny. Oh, so it's the Lilliputians, right?
Yes.
The city.
Bing, bing.
Great book.
I'll get that animation for next year.
Next year. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
do
Hopefully
something
we'll
for
have it in the
Maybe we'll do
budget.
something for St. Patrick's Day. We'll do something with leprechauns.
Nice.
Ooh,
Fun.
I would love that.
Let's
would
see.
love
What
that.
did he say? So wait, Hal just chimed in. They definitely cut the operations budget at
Yeah.
Disney. Yeah. Adjustments.
I think
It's all adjustments.
that's the thing that's happening everywhere, right? Like you
Right.
guys have seen it in education. Things
Yeah.
are getting cut, things are getting cut, things are getting cut, and it's, you know, this temporary solution to this long-term problem. And it's unfortunate because the thing that needs to happen is more money needs to go into resources, more money needs to go into these things that are so vitally important. But we live in this society that is only focused on what the number is, not what the outcome is 5 years from now, 10 years from now, all of
Yeah.
those things. We wouldn't be where we are today if people hadn't invested in technology that seemed absolutely insane. I carry a computer around in my pocket.
Right.
I can tell you when I was little, I never thought that would happen. I never in a million years would have thought that would have happened. But somebody had this idea and they were like, we can make this happen and it's going to take money to make it happen. And it's just like everything else, right? We need to sink money into the things that matter to us and the resources. And we need to fight for those things in our local communities because those are the things that are going to get us to where we need to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now.
Totally. And I think too, with the holidays approaching or the winter break, if you're traveling or going to be out and about with your families at restaurants and things, just kind of keep that in mind, right?
Yep.
That
Yes.
people
Yep.
are, short on staff or whatever, and
Absolutely.
pack your patience.
Extra patience, extra love, extra understanding, right? Like it's a busy time of year for lots of people. And we live in this strange economy right now where lots of people are having to work more than one job just to maintain what they have.
Yeah.
And it's stressful and it's a lot. And we as human beings just need to be an extra aware of ourselves and our surroundings and the people who we have no idea what they're going through. We all sitting here have side hustles, but we have 9-to-5 jobs as well. And unless we were on this podcast, people might not know that, right? So just remind yourself, you don't necessarily know what people are going through and how much they're dealing with. Give them a little love, a little bit of understanding, even just a little bit of empathy, one or the other. Like it's the time of year where we should be loving on each other a heck of a lot more.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And there's Tacey putting the cherry on the sundae right there. Be kind to our fellow man. How did that
Yeah.
slide from everyday behavior? I think it's still out there. I think it's one of those things. I think we just got to keep on reminding. It's not something you could just plug and play, or that's not the right analogy, but the
Yep.
it's not something you could just say, oh, it's going to happen forever. It has to keep on being vibrated out there, like keep on putting that message out there and setting the example. That's the big thing.
So Fred, were you gonna a minute ago ask about Christmas movies?
Yes. So, all right. So let's just toss out there. I got to know, like,
Uh-oh.
what is your go-to Christmas movie now? We have, how many 5 days coming up, right? But even that will be after the Christmas week. What is your Christmas go-to movie? I'll let you all toss in whatever, and in the chat, please chime in. What's your favorite Christmas go-to movie?
Okay, so I'm going to go first because mine is probably not absolutely what anyone would necessarily say. But starting in September, I start September 1st and I will watch it right through until my birthday in January. My go-to Christmas movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I don't care what anybody says, it's acceptable as a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie. And I love it so much that I have made my best friend's kids fall in love with it. They run around singing what they call the Halloween song. It is absolutely fabulous, and it is my go-to Christmas movie for months every year.
All right. I like the idea of how you let it span over Halloween into Christmas.
I was like, where is this going?
I'm seeing around my area those, I don't know, what are they, 14-foot high Jack Skellingtons?
Mhm.
And now they were dressed, they were out at Halloween and now they're out at Christmas. So it's out there.
So Crystal, real quickly, when you were at Jollywood Nights, wasn't there
Yep.
a
The sing
did
along.
you get to see it because that had your name written all over
Yep.
it?
It is so magical, and I almost missed it, but the girls that I was with, so quick sidebar, I met a group of people on a cruise with Lou and the WDW group out of New Orleans, and we were all seated at table 20, so we've kind of become the table 20 gang.
Great.
And this was our reunion because we hadn't seen each other since that cruise, because we got off that cruise and COVID shut down the world, literally within a month. So we hadn't seen each other since then, and we all got together for this thing. It was just one night, but we all got together for it. And I almost missed it because I was on a different ride and the girls were like, it is happening in like 10 minutes. Jamie said to me, we can make it. We can run from here to there. We will make it. You have to see it. This is your favorite thing. We've got to go. And so Jamie and I went and I saw it and I was in tears. It was beautiful. It was magical. It was fabulously done. I hope they keep it all the time. I hope it means that we are going to get him as a character in the park with Oogie Boogie. I am so excited about this thing. If Disney just permanently put it there, I would see it every time I go. It is amazing. And Pete, 100% I thought of you the whole time. I thought of you the whole time because it's magical and it's beautifully put together, and the music and everything. It is so fab. It is amazing. It is amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the concept, the guy that put it all together, the director of it. I'm a fan of his work and all. And he's done stuff overseas. And he came back and did stuff at Disney World for this. And isn't that the same puppet that they have for the Halloween party in front of the castle?
So I assume so.
Right.
I don't know for sure, but
It's at least it's the same style. It's the same build. It's
exactly
the same puppet make, the type. Yeah, it's great stuff. Love it. Yep.
Very cool. How about you, Pete?
Yeah. So, like sing-alongs, the bus trips, all the different shows, all the different concerts, PTA performances, I'm around a lot of those things and those songs, and Rudolph and Frosty and Elf, and I'm around a lot of it for a very long time. I love it all. Like third grade, we did the Grinch, so like I'm around it a lot. And for us to be ready in December, we start that back in early October. So when we're having dinner and we're sitting down and we're in front of the TV having a slice of pizza and we put something on, what would you like to watch? Our thing, our family, is we love going on YouTube and watching a vlogger walking around New York City and just recording the different the decorations and the atmosphere, and we get a little homesick, and that's what we love so much. So that's kind of our go-to right now. I love the movies, the classics. I'll never turn them down, but that's what's fresh for us now, and that's kind of what gets us excited. Like, oh, let's see where they're walking. Let's see those decorations. Let's see that projection show, or that performance, or the tree, or the ice skaters, or that market. And even just watching vloggers, down here in Atlanta, it inspired us to go to the German Christmas market in Buckhead.
Yeah.
So it gets us inspired to go out and do something for real. But that's kind of like where we're at right now.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice.
Aaron?
Yeah, so I'm seeing some people put it in there. White Christmas for me every year, just
Great.
hands down. I have to watch that. In fact, this week I've got to get it in. But Muppets Christmas growing up, that was a classic. Elf cracks me up.
Elf, 20 years ago this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
right. It was that they did a limited run in our Cinemark theater up by us here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Fred?
Same with everything you were saying. First, yeah, White Christmas I love it. White Christmas visually looks just cool for some reason to me, and I don't know if that's the Vista vision that it was filmed in, but I love how the look is, and I love those. I love, Bing Crosby's playing and Danny Kaye and all that, but there's one. So Miracle on 34th Street, I think Mike was saying, and then Wonderful Life. Yeah, that's probably my top two. Christmas Vacation is definitely in there. I would just say that my son hates it, and I'm like, well, what? It's awesome. It's the best Christmas movie. So I got a new one, and it's on Disney Plus, and it's called The Shepherd. If you haven't seen it yet, it's short, it's good. It's got John Travolta. So, which is kind of interesting, but it's a Christmas story. It's a Christmas ghost story. Yeah, so check it out. It's a really, really cool story. If it takes place, it's based on a novella, Aaron, and it's I think it takes place in 1950. So it's on the edge of World War II. Coming out of beyond it, World War II. But it's a cool story. So check that out. But yeah,
amazing.
And then I love all the stop motion. I mean, I grew up as a stop
Rankin Bass.
Oh, for sure.
Clock. If you're not doing anything constructive, go and
I
get
thought
my
Fred was going to
stogies.
say Prep and Landing.
Mm.
You know what? Actually,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, they're in there too.
cute.
That tag team is fun to watch, right? There's a lot of really fun stuff. You know what's crazy though? Charlie Brown Christmas, right? We used to set our clocks to that, right?
Yeah.
I think it was like a Tuesday
was an
night at
event.
8:00, right? It was an event, and you talked about it the next day in school on the playground, and now you can only get it if you have Apple TV, unless you have it on DVD.
It's sad.
And I don't have we don't have Apple TV, but we ended up purchasing it through our cable provider a couple of years ago, so we still have access to it. But one of the things that I've noticed is it seems a lot harder to get to some of the movies that we like to watch if you're streaming everything, So, but those are my favorites. I could sit and watch that stuff all day.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Oh,
I think she was saying, right? You were saying you were.
Yeah.
Did you say yours already?
yeah, White Christmas.
White Christmas was yours. Did Crystal give hers?
I did.
Oh, the glue line's kicking in.
Yeah, it's starting to kick in.
I'm gonna throw one out that my mom loved growing up, and that we watched through HBO, and now it's getting a breath of life as a stage production. So if you guys ever have a chance, but Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas,
Great one.
is
Great one.
such a wonderful. It's all puppets. Jim Henson.
Yes.
Casey is going to be happy that you mentioned that.
It's a classic, and my mom and I threw it onto my family in the last couple of years, and now I'm seeing it's having a life as a real live stage production with puppets now. So if you guys ever have a chance for that, go
The
get that
hole in the
one.
washboard tub.
The whole,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Pete,
Touch
I
hard.
did not know that it was getting a stage performance again. Tacey will love that you mentioned that, because a few years ago for Christmas, my brother bought her the vinyl of that soundtrack, and she absolutely adores it. So yes, I did not know that. I will have to look that up.
Yeah, look around. It's good stuff.
That's a good tip. That's a good
Yep.
one. So if people haven't seen it, that'll be really special. Oh, look.
Oh, Christmas in the Stars. Christmas in the Stars.
Oh,
That is it's so bad
Throwback.
it's good. It's so bad.
Yes,
it's
that's exactly right.
fancy.
Christmas in the
Star
Star
stars.
Wars is Christmas,
The
but
Star Wars
damn,
Christmas
Star Wars
album.
can't do Christmas right.
And by the way, if you're not watching Fred on Instagram, you're doing your quick little. So I do the advent calendars too every year. So
All right.
I delay a day before I see Fred's because
Because I ruin it.
don't want to see the spoiler. But it's very cool. And if any of you haven't been able to see it yet, check it out. It's a Lego advent calendar,
Yep.
Star Wars themed, of course.
Yes, I've been doing it. We've been doing it since my kids were small, and I joked about it the one day because everyone's like, Fred, Marine, you're old guy. Why are you building Legos? I said it's the same reason people do Sudoku or crossword puzzles or color. All these it's a stress relief and it's fun because I'm a Star Wars geek. So yeah, if anybody's curious, you can catch my daily builds. We're going into day 20, but that'll be released tonight, I think.
How long does it take you to make a video?
Honestly, it's not that long at all. It's the longest part is sometimes when you look at the diagram for the Lego, some of them are tricky. My brother-in-law was texting me the one who goes, I don't know where this one part goes. And I'm like, so I'm looking at it. So once he said that, I paid more attention to it. So, but honestly, it takes, it's time lapse, so it only takes 40 seconds. No, they're fun to build. I take probably about 5 minutes, 6 minutes to do it and edit it. Now I got it down to a quick. You know what's the hardest part, Pete? Picking out the music. So if I think a lot of people do listen with the sound off, but I always try to pick whatever the theme is. So there's a real strong 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi in the current sequence of days, and I've been using Return of the Jedi tracks.
Nice.
And I'll feed them. And I just realized I put two back together at the same point because they were really similar scenes. So I was like, what am I doing? So that's also a fun part of why I do it. So yeah, if anybody's out there, follow it, like it, share it. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and it's one of the reminders. Like, Fred, I love that you do it every year. And I will tell you, my best friend this year, rather than getting chocolate advent calendars for her kids, her and I had a conversation about what would be the best thing for them because they're all so uniquely different. Mm-hmm. And so one of her sons, she got a Play-Doh advent calendar, and the other one, she got a Lego Marvel advent calendar.
Oh, right.
And I thought of you every day when he opened one, and when he was like, Auntie, help me build it. I can't build it. And then there would be like an extra part here or there. And I was like, well, clearly I did not do this with it. But I thought of you every day because it is such a great reminder of it doesn't matter how old we are. Right. We can still do advent calendars. Yes. We can still have fun. They make an advent calendar for everything. Like Mom said to me, what kind do you want this year? And I was like, ooh, I'll take one with like bath bombs and bubble stuff for the tub. Like, you don't have to be a 5-year-old to enjoy an advent calendar. It doesn't have to be candy. It doesn't have to be chocolate. It can be anything that you want. And Lego is doing such a good job at starting to make more grown-up pieces. They have this beautiful flower bouquet one. I saw it the other day. I was like, I need to get me one of those because that's a good couple nights sitting down, relaxing, just focusing on something different. Absolutely love it.
We have family in Japan, and they're older relatives, and they do Lego as activities to keep their brain happy and moving and active and all, and it's so good for them. Definitely, I hope they keep making.
Yeah, it's a spatial thing. Yeah. I just was, and I don't know how I missed this one. I think they have a Stranger Things. Advent calendar.
I haven't seen the Stranger. I saw the upside down in the house and all. I didn't see it as a calendar yet.
Yeah, I thought I saw calendar, and of course there's a Harry Potter one, Aaron. I mean, I
saw the Harry Potter.
I don't know if there's a Lord of the Rings one.
Ooh, let me know if you find one.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
That'd be awesome.
No, but they're fun. They're a blast to do. And then it's funny. We have them we put them all away in bags. So we had them all by year. And I was just saying, we're trying to figure out what do we do with them now? Because how do you showcase them or share them with somebody else or stuff like that? But yeah, they're it's great because it's all about anticipation, and that's sometimes the best part of this holiday is the anticipation of the 25th, and then the holiday lull of that going into New Year's. So.
Absolutely.
Aaron, speaking of Lord of the Rings, did you see this week Universal make an announcement that they're going to build a park in the UK?
No.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
And the talk is one of the properties that they've been holding on to populate that park with is Lord of the Rings. So, that's the talk.
It's a
Wow.
perfect time to do that.
Yep. So
Wow.
that will be another trip for us.
Yes, I was just going to say, I think we've got lots of trips now planned. That's
Road trip, I
amazing,
love it.
Fred.
So you can actually you can go to Hobbiton, right, down in is it or New Zealand?
New
Don't
Zealand.
they
New
have a-
Zealand, yeah.
New
Wow.
Zealand. My
Is that
son
as John
has
say off to the
off
Shire?
to the Shire.
Yes.
My son has a best friend that's on a plane right now as we speak, going to New Zealand for winter break.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yep.
I
right
lived
now.
in New Zealand when I was a kid.
Very cool.
you're kidding?
No, my dad was in the Navy, stationed in Antarctica. So they flew the Navy moms to New Zealand and ended up, putting us in military housing so that when they got leave, that they could come home for a couple days. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Very cool, Aaron.
yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah,
Nice.
wow, that is neat. Wow, cool.
See all the things you learned? Wow.
Right?
Crystal, this has been awesome. I'm hoping that people, listen in and maybe decide to do something like this with family or friends, or even I think it's just a good leadership tool to do, with colleagues. And it doesn't have to be anything that's out for show. It can be done even privately. But I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you orchestrating all this, and Pete and Fred, for so far this year, continue this live, this more teachers, more pep, more rally, right, Pete?
That's it.
It's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking
Yep.
forward to the new year for sure.
When are we
Yeah.
going to be back? When are we coming? What do we have coming up?
Man, that's a great question. Hold on
So
tight. Let me look.
let's see here. Maybe we could post something.
Real time.
See, this is the thing. Everybody now, and rightfully so, should have on their Christmas hats and their relaxation hats. And now you have to put the other hat back on temporarily and be like, oh yeah, January. What am I doing in January?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is we do have our next recording we do for the podcast. It'll be our 100th episode. So that's
Yes.
something to celebrate.
Yes,
That's
We-
amazing.
Yeah.
the TPR 100.
It's amazing. We've got Ashley Gibbs Davis is coming back. She's the one that I got certified with Brene Brown's Dare to Lead.
Oh yeah. She's
gonna do
great.
some of that work with us. And then
That was the leadership talks, right?
leadership talks. And Heidi's coming back to talk about how she supports her students with disabilities for transitioning into
cool.
a career or the job industry. So
Nice.
we've got some exciting things coming up.
And can we talk about our other favorite Star Wars author here, or are we still trying to figure that one out?
Oh yes, Dan Z's coming back after the new year. He's going to come Coffee with
Cool.
Kenobi, so
Cool.
that'll be fun. So yeah, we've got lots of great.
And that's
People
all
coming
on Aaron. Aaron does all that.
Yeah.
The booking of guests, organizing, getting them on. We would not be a show without her.
She is the machine, the drive, the juice, the brains. Like she makes us all happen, and we
Yep.
thank you so much for it, Aaron. Every year,
My
every season,
pleasure.
you have a gift of doing this. It just goes to show you how smart you are, because
Oh.
it's a lot of work to do, and you're just driven to do it, and you love doing this stuff. So it's cool.
I do.
to
I love the
work-
conversations,
Yeah,
whether
they've
we
been great.
were recording them or not, Fred. Right? Like it's
Yeah.
just feels
Aaron,
good.
Has there been a Mickey over your shoulder the whole time, or did he just appear? Because that's like a
That's-
Chucky scare I just had.
You know
right now.
what?
Like,
You're
what the
Pete.
heck?
Now that you said that,
Like he
you're
wasn't
right.
there earlier.
I think
That's
It's
just
because he was
weird.
behind the chair.
Oh, it's a black chair. Okay.
wait,
I
what?
thought Mickey's gonna come out and choke her because of what we're talking about with Disney.
This Christmas episode has taken a very dark turn.
it did
Oh,
take a
that's just
very
funny.
dark turn.
That was just a real low end special effect.
Do we have an origin
Ooh, there
episode
you
on
go,
how
there
we
you go.
all initially connected? We should do that. I think
You
we-
absolutely should do
we
that.
should.
And that was one of the things I was going to mention. Like, I think you guys need a round of applause for people who are watching this and don't know. You started this podcast during COVID as a way to keep teachers connected and motivated through that struggle. And the fact that you're still here and you're still showing up and you're still doing it, I think speaks volumes, because as a podcaster, that is not necessarily an easy thing. There is a lot of stuff involved behind the scenes that people don't get to see, and it's a lot of work. And to do this on top of a regular job and a side hustle and family life and everything else that you guys have going on deserves a huge round of applause. 100 episodes is a huge feat.
Well, thanks, Crystal.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. So if anyone has someone that they would love to come on, Tacey, I know you've got that one person, and I promise I am working on that one. But if you've got someone that you think would be great to come on, just reach out, let us know, and we'll see if we can make it work.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Crystal, thank you so much for coming on. We really
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
you. And, our friends out there, if you're celebrating a holiday this time of the year, or if you're not, just be safe. We wish you well, get some rest, and happy New Year. And we will be all together very soon. But in the meantime, I really do hope you all get some time to rest, because I know we're all
Yes.
tired.
We need it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love you guys. Happy
Same.
Merry
holidays.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Happy
Christmas,
holidays.
everybody.
Happy holidays,
See you in
everyone.
2024.
Woohoo!
Whee! And